What's up, everybody? How are you? This is Karthik Poovanam. I'm a leadership coach, author, and a travel explorer. There will be always some elderly people in the family. Some of them you may call grandmothers, grandfathers. Various kinds of relationship names have been established. And every name, when it is established, it has certain roles and responsibilities. One cannot escape from these roles and responsibilities. Like, for example, when there is a CEO of a company, he has certain roles and responsibilities. Without fulfilling those roles and responsibilities, without fulfilling and staying agile to the key performance indicators, the company is not going to keep that person. Let's say there is a project manager. There is certain requirements which have been assigned by the company that this project manager has to fulfill. Without that, the purpose of the project manager is of no consequence. Whatever items you buy in the market, there is a certain purpose associated with it. And if it doesn't fulfill the purpose, it's of no good use. A lot of electronic items we buy from the internet. And sometimes what is promised and what happens, there's no match. But at least these items can be returned. They can be exchanged. But when it comes to a relationship, which is an unfireable, you cannot fire that person. Like in a job, if the CEO is not performing well, they can remove. Any number of CEOs have been removed. Steve Jobs himself was removed from his own company that he established. But when you say somebody like a grandmother, grandfather, these names that you indicate, they have a certain permanence associated with it. They are not variables. They are constants. So when they are given such a big privilege by the society, acting irresponsibly and speaking vicious words which harm the younger generation is extremely cruel. Is barbaric. I do not know what words to use. The elderly person in the family who is considered as a grandmother or a grandfather have certain responsibilities. And what are those responsibilities? The responsibility is to infuse joy in the coming generations, to tell stories, to make them feel good. But instead, what kind of stories you hear? You hear completely stories that are lie. You hear stories which are filled with suffering. You hear stories that are constantly geared to make you feel low. There's a kind of respect extortion which is done. If you do not give me respect, something bad and terrible will happen to you. Please, for God's sake, if you are an elderly person or you have somebody who is elderly in the family who can understand English, show this video to them. And if you're somebody who's a grandmother or a grandfather, please listen to me very carefully. Please do not do this respect extortion. Do not make an already weak person in the family who is very emotionally not so sound tremble and fear that just because they have not spoken to you nicely, something terrible is going to happen to them. It happens to me very regularly, and I am much beyond all of these things. It doesn't affect me. But I was just wondering, this is the case with any number of people. I do not want to name them, but I've gone and I checked with so many youngsters. They don't have a good rapport with their elders. They don't have a good rapport with their parents. They do not have a good rapport with the grandparents. There is something fundamentally wrong with your yourself calling yourself as a grandparent. I must tell you this. What is this? Like for me, I am connected to Lord Balaji. blessings and the kind of techniques I have learned, the kind of therapies I have mastered, the kind of emotional rejuvenation mastery that I have access to, because of which I'm feeling great and vibrant. Otherwise, I must tell you, some things which I have heard, especially by the elders, it's just very sick and very poisonous. So I'm telling you this with lot of sincerity and with lot of empathy. If you want the younger generation to connect with you, please do not be forcing them to believe in your nonsense. Do not indulge in vicious spilling of words. And for God's sake, stop this casteism feeling, Especially these elders are the responsible people, these so-called grandmothers and grandparents. I mean, from where do you get all these things? The air that you breathe has no caste. The car that you drive has no caste. Grow up. You need to just grow up. You need to understand certain things in a very deep way. Do not viciously pollute the mind of the next generation. Very few people have even the capacity to ask authentic questions. Not everyone is capable enough of, looking, hey, the sun doesn't discriminate. The sky doesn't discriminate. The air doesn't discriminate. All discrimination is in human mind. What is it that you people are doing? And calling yourself as grandmothers and grandfathers. Set an example. Let your children who are younger generation, whom you're complaining, they're going to bar, they're going to pub, they're going to discos. Let them find excitement sitting with you. Have a conversation which is going to stimulate them. Have a decency to respect another life. When you rob a person completely their ability to think for themselves and condition them and give them something called as a shit, and then they will continue to believe that it is something very pure, and later the shit smell gets up with them, that time they don't even want to see your face. And this is exactly what's happening to a lot of grandchildren. They don't want to see the face of their grannies. This atrociousness which is filled with a venomous poison, in fact using words which are simply damaging the self-esteem of the next generation, is totally unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. Do not indulge in word war play. I repeat, do not indulge in word war play. You may have just come to this planet maybe 60 years before your grandchildren, or maybe 70 years before your grandchildren. It means nothing. It just means nothing. What does it mean? It means nothing. Your age has grown. So what? Your brain has not grown. Your capacity to think has not grown. Your ability to treat another person with dignity has not happened. Where are we going so far? Bare minimum common sense. You're speaking to somebody, you call yourself a grandmother, you call yourself a grandfather, and you want to talk in a way in which it hurts them. You cannot be deeply ruptured around your psychotic field play and live a completely lunatic life by destroying the peace of other people. A lot of youngsters today, they are helpless, and all that they're doing is just avoiding you. Let me tell you, this is very disgraceful. You can just fool yourself thinking that they are all very busy. All the grandchildren and all, in fact even your children, they have enough time to invest the time in reading what they love to read, in watching the famous Netflix show what they love. They do not have time for you, is what you think, because you're so busy. You are completely living a life of denial. And when you live a life in denial, you have completely destroyed all the possibilities. You completely destroyed all the possibilities of living a very sensible life and empowering your life, and also learning how to live joyfully. You may think, okay, my age is over 70 and I don't give a damn. This age for me, it is very difficult for me to change. Come on, this is the age for changing, because you have lived so much of your life in this planet, and the last few days, or like how many years we do not know, must happen in grace, must not happen the same foolish way in which you lived. Learn the art of connecting with the next generation, what they want. Everybody in the human planet is seeking respect that they truly desire, and you are not giving that. I'm being very polite in this video, but I'm telling you this. There is a book that you must read, and it is that consumption which is going to happen right now. Hey Granny, can you have some mercy while you talk, please? The links will be soon available in the description box below. It's for every grandmother, every grandfather also, by the way. If you want me to include grandpa also, I can include it. Everything said and done. Connect with the youngsters. Do not be like a stuck-up tape recorder trying to play all that same venomous game. It's not going to work out. It is not going to work out. Good day everybody, this is Karthik Poovanam. I'm a leadership coach, author and travel explorer, and I will see you in another amazing video. And for God's sake, if you are a grandmother or a grandfather, do not think you are greater than the God. Do not think you are greater than Lord. In my case, I always say, don't think you're greater than Lord Balaji. Good day everybody. Have a fantastic time, and understand that if you're connected to a higher force, you are always protected. Your growth cannot be stopped. Nobody can stop my growth, because it's happening through the blessings of Lord Balaji. His presence shines. Like there is a very famous song I remember, Bang 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 of Salman Khan. In that there is a very famous line, and I connect to that line completely because it's a living reality in my life. Mujhko to mili hai dua hi dua, mera koi na kuch kar paega. He says, I've got a lot of grace. Nobody can do anything to me. And I'm saying this is a reality in my life. Enormous grace of Lord Balaji. After that, the grace of the Siddhars, or the great amazing yogis, the knowledge of various fantastic courses that has gone inside me. Nothing can happen to me. All those people must first, who all are fearful about their elders, curses and so-called nonsense, what they are, just spilling out like venom. You must just understand this. Connect to a higher force. Nothing will touch you. Good day everybody. This is Karthik Poovanam. I'm a leadership coach, author and travel explorer. I will see you in another amazing video. Good day.